decision was stuck between 2 goals and 4 goals. Well, that's 3, and the lead is about 3 goals. And Richo said they got the desired result that they required in that quarter, so he perhaps thinks that 3 is the advantage. I'm a little bit confused there. He thought that the side's discipline was good in that quarter. As far as in the clinches when the ball was there to be won, he thought they were there at the right time. I'm just a little bit worried about the way they went about that in those tight areas. But as he did say, he got the result. Well, they've got the result at this stage they want, but the important thing is going to be they've probably got another 5 or 6 minutes with only 16 men on the ground, and Werribee need to use that to advantage the best they can.
Well, we see that Gareth Buck has lined up a fullback for Werribee with no direct opponent, so that's where one player's missing, and that's Cowan, who went off.
I think you'll find there'll be he's also going to have a loose man in the back line.
Menzies looks like he's down there, so he's a usual forward, so he's standing between centre-half forward and full forward for Werribee.
He's expecting. He's also mentioned that he's expecting a lot of run off his half-back line. With Menzies down there as a loose man, one of the half-backers get a chance to move down to the field to do so, and I think you'll find that Menzies will pick up that person's man.
And Kelly is also down there by himself, so that would leave a couple of loose players for Werribee Centrals, and one of them is at half-back.
That's very negative, isn't it?
I suppose they can't really do much.
Pretty positive when you've got 16 men on the ground, right, I suppose.
Start of the second term, Smith takes it out of the ruck, tries to give it to Timmy Gardner, but it's chopped off by Barry Delaney. Now he goes along towards one of those men, and it is Kelly. He takes the first mark of the second term here in the first semi-final and goes to the outer side looking for Anthony Lamb. It's over his head, though, on Hart, and takes a good mark. Just rode on the back of Lamb there for a minute and took a good grab. Now he goes with his right boot long towards... Coming out there was Kochevatkin, and Menzies over the back. We'll see a lot of Thompson players in the Werribee forward line for this quarter, that's for sure, and a lot of them picking up a few possessions, but depends on what they do with them. And it's bottled up about 35 out from the Werribee goal.
Well, I don't think the breeze is as strong as what it was.
It just seems to come up every 5 or 10 minutes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, you'd want to try and stay as positive as you possibly can. But never mind, time will tell as we see the ball in that right forward flank with the Werribee Central side into attack.
Very difficult period here for Thompson. I mean, you've only got to look back, 20, 30 metres from where the contest is now back towards the centre line. There's 5 or 6 Centrals blokes just there demanding basically that the ball's going to fall into their arms, and all of a sudden it puts the pressure straight back into the forward line.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Thompson.
It's going to be very difficult, and you'd like to think you've had the ball on your forward line for 20, 25 minutes that you're going to get yourself 3 or 4 goals, even if you've got to scramble them through.
Throw in now, and Smith gets a tap down through, or Richardson just uses his bulk, goes for the safety of the boundary line. Can Harton keep it in? Yes, he can. No, he can't. The boundary umpire was a long way away there, but saw Harton go out with the footy.
Clever kick.
Yeah.
He assessed the situation very quickly. I'd say before the initial contest, he knew what was behind him, and he knew he only really had one option to go to.
And it was the boundary line, and it's there now. Vilchins and Smith get a hand to it. Delaney at the back of the pack, slick handball to Edgar. He handball towards Darlow. A good pick up on the half volley. Gets through 2 tackles quite easily. Right foot kick now coming out Menzies. He traps it. Now he follows it up. Kick off the ground. He'll follow it up again. He's got support. David Burke it is. Goes for the safety of the boundary line on the outer on the members' side. And in between half forward and wing finds it.
They've done it well so far.
Good aggressive football. Kelly and Menzies working so far, working well for the Thompson side in defence. As we see the ball now being pushed out to the members' side of the ground. It's in between half forward and centre wing. Quick kick there out of the pack by Withers, but Darlow's there. Quick hands to the run of Galauka, who loves to dash. His kick not a good one. Kelly couldn't take the mark. All wrapped up Menzies. And a pack of players have formed a high tackle, I think you'll find on Buchanan against Shane Withers and David Buchanan. The goal sneak for the Centurions gets the free kick at half forward. A good 45, 50 metres from goal.
So Buchanan lines up. Gardner coming off the ground. That's Andrew. And nobody coming on for him, so I don't know what's going on there. Buchanan goes very long, but very wide with his kick. It's out of bounds on the full.
15 men. Can I make it awfully difficult, isn't it?
And,
well, was he on the ground when he...
Yeah, that's what I'm just going to count now, just to see if they actually had...
Right. Started off with you on the ground, yep.
Justin coming off and Gardner going on. Menzies to take the kick. He goes long towards half-back Smith, and now curves Rove. Darlow breaks a couple of tackles again, very strong. Goes towards Buchanan, slips it off towards Delaney. He's wrapped up. You've got the numbers back there. Thompson, Richardson towards Menzies, and also Gann. The boundary line will be the winner here for Thompson if they can get it out. Yes, they can. And in fact, I think umpire Grapsis, the central umpire, is going to bounce the ball.
I must say, it's awfully hard to try and count the Thompson side when there's the gold shorts. Both clubs wearing them. Must be very hard from a playing point of view too.
Especially in those close contests when the ball's on the ground and you're relying on a voice, and it's probably where the voice is so important in those tight situations. That the voice is there, it's a familiar voice, and you've also got a name with it to make sure you are hitting the right target.
Well, I've only counted 15 on the ground for Thompson. But then again, maths wasn't my best subject. But anyway, back to the football. As we see now that Atchison under pressure, but he kept the ball in front of him. Well played. Cops one a bit high there from Vilsons, and it's on.
No, I count 16.
Okay. Well, obviously Gardner shouldn't have been on the ground, and Atchison, I think you'll find is okay.
I might be mistaken, but I didn't think there was a hell of a lot. I thought that H played to that pretty well to get the kick, but he is down there for a while.
He's probably just making it look a bit worse than what it really is.
I don't know. He's getting up pretty gingerly.
Might be a bit harsh, man. Might be a bit harsh.
So we are 100 metres from the action, and we might have...
He played it very well. He kept the ball in front. There was actually two Werribee Central players coming at him at the same time as trying to pick up the ball. He's actually deviated his body to slip through those two tackles, and well, unfortunately, he got caught in the third one, but they got a free kick for it.
Well, it's gone to Kelly now, and he goes wide towards Smith and Vilchins. Vilchins just goes straight over the top of Richardson there, and it's out of bounds. And Vilchins and Richardson just having a bit of a chat as they get up from that contest. And Atchison looks like he's all right now. He's recovered all 35 kilos of him. There's not much of Atchison. Smith gets his left hand to it and palms it down towards Gann. Smith works very hard there. Hold. It's going to go to the Werribee Central side, and it's going to be Timmy Ellis.
He's got to cool down a little bit, Richard. I think he's obviously pretty frustrated with what's happened in the early quarter with a couple of blokes being sent off, and
he's
just seen one of his better players sort of get
his own game.
Yeah, he's just got to be a little bit careful. He keeps his cool, and the main thing is he's got to try and get back to the basics and try and set the example for his players. It's very hard to be critical of your own players and be sort of be involved with it yourself.
Well, Ellis goes along with his right boot, and it's a magnificent kick from 50 with the breeze, and he's put it straight through.
Nice start for the Centurions.
Well, he could be a good pickup here for Werribee this afternoon. We saw last week against Bellpost Hill he wasn't in the side and was named as one of the emergencies in the paper yesterday and has come into the side and has done very well. That's his first goal, and Werribee's second. They're 2-3-15, and they trailed Thompson 4-4-28 on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. We've been going just over 5 minutes in this second term. The 1996 first semi-final to Cutthroat. The winner through to next Saturday's preliminary final, and the loser will bow out of the final series. For 1996, Vilchins and Smith go up again in the middle. Vilchins gets it down to Darlow, who's wrapped up. Is that holding the ball? Well, umpire Grapsis says no.
What's the situation there, fellas? I mean, you got one umpire who's...
Well, he's trying to break the tackle, didn't he?
The umpire from behind can't see what's really happening has made the decision when the other umpire who's looking directly at it, I think if the umpire at the other end of the ground had made the decision, it would have been holding the ball.
And, certainly. Yeah, exactly. Goes up Vilchins and Nan Curvis in the end. Darlow again tried to break the tackle. Withers in there, and Christian Smith. And the umpire has picked out a free kick there. It's going to go to Thompson for a bit of a late tackle there. It might have been Darlow or Robbie Edgar who was in there, but Atchison's going to take the free kick anyway. He goes towards centre-half forward. McFarlane goes up in front. Nan Curvis, so good marking option he is. He goes long now. Good kick too. It's holds up in the breeze, cutting and runs back and takes a sensational mark. And if he's not close to the best player on the ground, well, he goes up towards the wing position. Ambrose Kelly taps it away from Harton, and that was a great mark running with the flight of the ball from Dennis Cunningham.
Yeah, nice take from the law officer over there as well.
Very good out there. I think it was good play there by Vilsons too. He would have been the biggest fella on the ground. He could have quite easily been sucked in to try and make a contest, and mark himself, and the ball would have probably gone to the ground, and all players would have been out of it.
Lamb goes towards Gardner, and that's Andrew. Goes to Tim, goes to McFarlane inside, 50 at 30, goes with his right boot, but he's sprayed it, and it's one behind for Christian McFarlane.
That's 3 points off McFarlane's boot.
3 behinds. But they need to run it like that through centre-half forward. Buck to kick in comes Members side. Now Grapsis has just come back onto the ground, so they're back to 17 now. Thompson, Timmy Gardner fighting with Morley at centre-half forward. Taps it to his own advantage, then taps it to his brother's advantage. That's Andrew. He drops the ball. Now it keeps going. Nan Curvis is there in support. Galauka pushes him off the footy. Grapsis just back on, can't handle it. Andrew Gardner fighting very hard, little lunchbox.
Yeah, and great play. Yeah, he deserved that. He kept the ball as his object the whole time. He had 4 or 5 different efforts at it, and he came out with the ball.
Short to Grapsis. The orator takes the mark. Just back on the ground. Back to 17 now. The Tigers. And 3 Gardeners in the side this afternoon as well. Chris, Tim and Andrew. So Grabs us to come back. Umpire Beattie just holding up the play. Grabs us short to Timmy Gardner. Got Menzies. Oh, balks. Gives it to, was going to give it to Menzies, then goes long. Nankervis pushed off the ball, and a mark taken by Dennis Cunningham. Goes to the outer side looking for the big man, Vilchins. Can he make it? He can't. He's got support, though. Buck's one of them. Shepherd's Vilchins well. Handball over the top. They've got the run here now. They can go long towards the wing looking for Hennessy, but coming out Atchison. Can't take the mark. Close to the boundary line. Hennessy, if he can handball on, he's got Matheson. He has. He gives it to him now. He stands. Gives it back into Edgar, who's inboard. Oh, puts him under pressure. Then got a high tackle. No free kick. They've got the numbers now. Thompson, Lamb to Kelly. It's a poor kick off the boot. Delaney. Timmy Gardner coming across. He traps it. Breaks the tackle as he always does. Feeds the handball off. Out wide to Lamb. He goes along with his left boot towards McFarlane. Hart's a long way. Oh! Pulled in a great one-hander.
Just that time Cecino's come on the ground, so he's not the player that's missed.
And here he is. Gus has got it to half-back. The kick went straight across half-back there for Werribee. Goes long towards... Good mark taken by Slade. Hennessy in the middle. Plays on now on his left boot. Long. The lead out from Kochevatkin. Can't take the mark. Pushed off by Harris. He's there again. Relieving kick out wide towards Lamb. And also there was... Cunningham by the looks of it. In fact, it's Harton. Now Nankervis in support at half-back. He seems to be everywhere in this second term. Goes in towards Gardner. Pushed off the footy by Morley, who's got support from Barry Delaney. Handball out to Darlow. Free kick found by umpire Beattie. And it's against Richardson once again. It's going to go to the skipper of the Centurions, Barry Delaney, in the middle of the ground.
Bit hard, I think. I mean, you've both sort of got the ball in front of him, or a bit of possession. You've got to try and apply a little bit of pressure.
Well, Timmy Gardner did some great work there, but Richardson came in a bit late after Timmy had unsettled him and finished the gauze and gave the free kick away.
Right there, one. I was on the side of me. I'd seemed to look all right, but I was following Timmy.
Well, Richardson gave the kick away.
So Atchison's taken the mark now in front. Or in fact, he got a free kick for a push against Matheson, and he goes short to Withers. So Matheson and Richardson giving away the free kicks in this first quarter, in this first 10 minutes of this second term. Giving away a few each. Withers now from centre half back. Goes into the middle to Richardson. Darlow in front, pushed away by Richardson. Now Delaney tries to break one tackle, then can't break the second. Darlow a little kick off the ground, then a handball, followed it up, gave it to Morley. Then he tried to shove it out to Edgar, who he couldn't do so. But Darlow working hard again. Gardner comes at him, but he breaks the tackle easily. Gives it back to Galauka. He's got Spicer in support laterally, but it's a poor kick. But Lamb, he can't pick it up, and Spicer can. He goes with his right boot. The lead's on from Alice. He can't take the mark. Kelly tries to give it back to Atchison now. Free kick found, and it's going to go to Kelly.
It's an umpire's day today, and they're having a lot of input in the game.
They certainly are. They are picking them out willy-nilly. There's good contest there, Delaney and Nankervis. Ground level Harden punched the ball back to the goal square. Good fist away from defence, but now it spills to, it looks like Hennessy. His left foot kick, though, was well offline. Slade Hennessy 1 point.
So Thompson 4-5-29. They still lead Werribee Central's 2-4-16 on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 11 minutes in this second term. The kick in by Harris short to Chris Gardner in the back pocket. Members side goes short again to Burke. Has to stand his ground in front of Luddick and does so. He's got Smith on the wing calling for it. He's going to go in that direction, but he puts it wide, very wide, in fact, too wide. Out of bounds on the full, and Gus Cecino to take the penalty free kick at half forward. So they've done pretty well so far, Thompson, to hold up Werribee.
Yeah, very well indeed.
The Cowan's about to come back on the ground.
So they'll be back to 18. Cecino goes wide, and it's a good kick too, and Matheson presented himself, and he took the mark in front of Chris Gardner. So he'll have a shot for goal about 30 metres out, but he's right on the boundary line. And his left footer, so he's on the wrong side. He works it into the goal square and Alice, and also through for one behind for Dave Matheson.
His first score for the afternoon.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and Werribee go to 2-5-17. They trailed Thompson 4-5-29. 2 goals of difference on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. And Harris to kick in again, goes to the outer side looking for Nankervis. It's over his head, but he can trap it. Ellis is right next to him. Well, shepherded by Kelly, but then Ellis worked off the shepherd and worked very hard to bottle it up inside 50. And it'll be a bounce of the ball. So 2 goals of difference. Bounce down. Oh, the smallest bounce I've ever seen. Vilchins gets his foot to it and goes long. Oh, Atchison goes up, can't take the mark. At the front of the pack, Kochevatkin. And then Mickey Gann in support. He goes to the safe to the boundary line because you've got Cicino and Gardner running there. Now, Gardner ran straight at the footy and did very well. He wants to go for the safe to the boundary line and get an extra 20 metres.
Beat the two of them.
Yeah, she's played very well, Andrew Gardner. He was dropped there for a couple of weeks, disciplinary measures, I believe, and he's done very well since being selected here this afternoon.
Smith in front, gives it to Burke. A hurried kick around the corner. Gardner, Morley, McFarlane running at it now with Galauka. Well, they meet, and Galauka rides the bump, the smaller man. Gives it to Hart. Handball over the top to Morley, who had to sit and wait, and then gave it back to Hart. Got a free kick advantage now. And there was no advantage, but Hart goes with his left boot, long towards St Arthur Atchison. Around one, all tripped by Buchanan there. No free kick. Goes long with his hurried kick. It's up there now, Cunningham. He trapped it now back towards Edgar, who can get his kick away. It's a floater towards half forward, Nankervis. He can't trap it, and it's out of bounds inside 50 again for Werribee on the outer side.
I think the right decision there for the umpire. The advantage was definitely on, but once the game had actually stopped, I mean, he put so much pressure on the bloke who's got the ball, he should have had the sense to give it back to the original free kick.
Vilchins ripped off the football there by Smith, and it's going to be a free kick to the big man. So Brenton Vilchins, the Werribee Central's ruckman, to have a kick from 50. And Cowan back on the ground now for Thompson, so they're back to their big quota of 18. And let's hope for their sake that they put the discipline into practice and keep 18 players on the ground. Vilchins now from 50 comes in, very deliberate. He goes long. Great kick. Sensational kick from the big man. And no doubt about that, straight through the middle for Werribee Central's third goal. They're 3-5-23. They lead they trail Thompson 4-5-29 by goal on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. And we've been going 14 and a half minutes in this second term. Hope you're enjoying the live and exclusive call on 89.1 Country FM this afternoon. And back to 18 men, Thompson.
It'll be interesting to see in the next 5 or 10 minutes or towards the end of this second quarter how Thompson handled the pressure. I mean, they've had to work very hard with 16 men on the ground, and it's bound to take it out here. You don't get that opportunity to have a rest, which you might have had previously. And I'm sure if Werribee apply a little bit more pressure in this next 10 minutes, they could get some goal-scoring opportunities.
Well, here it's coming from because Ellis gave it off to Delaney, but the kick was too high for Kochevatkin and gives it off to Mark Harris, who goes long, high, and wide towards Burke and the boundary line. And the boundary line won on that occasion at half-back for the Tigers.
Yeah, Mark Harris held the ball for a long time. Then obviously not a lot of options up the ground, and lucky not to be caught for mine. But anyway, the ball's now thrown in at half forward for the Werribee Central side. There's been a whistle on the play umpire. Perhaps it will bounce down. Quite a congested area at the moment, the half forward flank for the Werribee side. A lot of players around the footy. Vilson's with strength, but he's hit it straight down Richardson's throat. A little underground kick, travels 20 metres, and Gus Cicino controlled the footy for a moment. The good pressure there from Timmy Gardner and David Burke sees it now out of bounds for another throw in.
He's obviously playing with a lot of discomfort in that hand. Timmy Gardner, he finds it very difficult to tackle. Every time he's in a contest, he sort of walks away giving it a bit of a shake, and it's very courageous at this point in time to continue on with the game.
Withers went towards Menzies, who tried to take a mark, and the ball was just over his hands there. He went up the big slips catch but couldn't bring it down, so it's going to be a boundary throw in, and it's directly in front of the commentary box here at Godfrey Street. Vilchins gets his fist to it. Burke gives it to Richardson, puts him right under the hammer. Ellis tried to kick off the ground. Richardson, though, worked very hard, tried to keep it in. Now he can't. He's got an extra 5 or so metres there.
Well played, the coach.
Yep.
Didn't really have a lot of other options, and he's just worked it well. Probably gained 5 or 10 metres and got the boundary line.
So another boundary throw in. Vilchins gets his fist. Good tap rucking to Darlow there. He goes long. Matheson up behind. Atchison roving though at the back of the pack. Ambrose Kelly can go to Lamb, and if it sits for him, he's away. Galauka's in front of him now. Vision back in towards McFarlane. He's got 2 in front of him. Nankervis is 1, and he roves the pack. Gives it off to Lunchy Gardner. Good vision from Nankervis. He's at 50. Goes towards Menzies. He led for him. Cunningham up. Menzies as he pushed off. No, he didn't. Cunningham worked very hard, and he did very well. Handball to Morley, and also Spicer. Oh, Gardner though. Lunchy. Andrew Gardner worked very hard to bottle it up in there in the forward line. Oh, breaking through Plugger. 4 tackles. Cowan gave it off to McFarlane. If he kicks the goal, it's Cowan's, but he's missed. And 1 behind. He's 4th. Christian McFarlane.
He'd want to be selling those boots, wouldn't he, Christian McFarlane, this afternoon after he finishes this proceedings? It's his 4th point.
How's Cowan, though?
Strength.
Oh, 4 tackles he broke. and then gave off the handball.
Yeah, he didn't just slam it on the boot and try and get the goal himself. He's given it to the better option.
4-6-30 Thompson, 3-5-23 Werribee Centrals. Nearly 18 minutes gone of the second quarter. Ball now at half forward. Thompson into attack. Darlow picks the footy up from that scrimmage at centre half forward, but the umpire in Bobby Beattie has sounded his whistle for a bounce down. Wilson's and Christian Smith, big job for him this afternoon, but he's competing well. Wilson's again gets it, but the Thompson side through Nankervis did well. Back to Smith, to Tim Gardner, hands to Richardson, good footy to Cowans, and Plugger comes out and takes a lovely grab 45 metres from goal.
Well, he was going to kick for goal then, but just the good vision and just presence of mind to just push it wide there, and Cowan was on the lead. He had Menzies in support also, and don't they look better when they've got this man on the ground?
They certainly do.
They give themselves a target, and he's the man. He pushes it wide with his left boot. It's up there. McFarlane goes up. Oh, Richardson stood there and took a good chest mark.
Couldn't believe his luck. I don't think
fell into his arms.
It got through 5 or 6 players who misjudged it, and he was lucky enough to be standing there. But having the ball come to you is one thing, but he was able to finish it off and hold the mark.
So Werribee, they've kicked 2 goals in this quarter. Thompson haven't scored one yet. Richardson now has put the first one on the board. The coach has got his first goal. And Thompson's fifth. They go to 5-6-36, and Werribee Central's a 3-5-23. 13 points of difference on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. And we've been playing 19 minutes in this second term. So once again, Thompson just holding off the Centurions.
Yeah, I think considering the circumstances which they've gone into the second quarter with, which is due to probably a lot of their own undoing, that I think they'd be quite satisfied at this point in time with the result of the first 20 minutes of the quarter.
So it's first semi-final day here at Godfrey Street. It's Werribee and Thompson, and the Tigers, who are on their home ground, are leading. The bounce is a good one too. Vilchins and Smith both go up early. Smith takes it out of the ruck, then gives it to Richardson. The last goal kicker goes wide to the wing. Galauka runs at it at pace. Then gets hit by Nankervis. I think Nankervis might have come off a little bit worse for wear. And the ball has gone towards half forward for the Centurions. And Galauka was running at 150 kilometres an hour there. He was straight through Nankervis on the footy.
Very hard at it. Very hard at it indeed. Boundary throw in now between half forward, centre wing. Wilson, Smith. No one got a handle on it, but Darlow thumps the ball towards the half forward line. Now, Atchison comes out well. Gee, he was lucky he didn't hit that fence then.
No, he's better go for a bit of a test drive in that Falcon.
Wasn't he? But he just stuck his head at the crucial time.
Must have got his foot stuck under the brake pedal. He's got a bit of a limp on
there. Yeah, he gets up properly again, Atchison. From that boundary throw in Vilchins, it just falls into Edgar's arms, who goes towards Delaney and Ellis. Teammates there, they spoil each other, and then give away a free kick to Atchison. And this man is going to have more bruises on him than I've ever seen. He's going to be unbelievable tonight. He's got more hits, and as I said, he weighs only 35 kilos, so there's not much of him.
No, and that was a nice call from our cameraman. More hits than Elvis. That was very good, Brett. As we see now, the ball being kicked in there. Bad football, though, from Richardson, because he's hit Darren Harton right on the chest in the middle of Godfrey Street. Up there, Wilson, too big, too strong.
Can't play that.
Well, there was 2 pair of hands on it in front. There was Smith, likewise Chris Gardner. And,
you want to call play on, Stewie?
Oh, he came down with it, I suppose, but I think he went through the 2 Thompson hands.
No, I agree with you, mate. That should have been play on.
Well, Vilchins has got it now and measures the kick, but stabs at it and misses it to the far side for one behind. So he's got 1 goal 1 this afternoon. And where we go to 3-6-24, they trail once again by 12 points. Thompson 5-6-36 on the GDFL Bingo Centre second quarter scoreboard. 21 and a half minutes gone in this second term. And all the action coming to you live and exclusive on 89.1 Country FM this afternoon. We'll be back with you next Saturday for the preliminary final, and the Saturday after, it's GDFL Grand Final Day. The kick in by Harris floats towards Stein, and he takes the mark in the defensive 50 for the Tigers. Goes wide, continues towards Edgar now, who slips in front of Timmy Gardner and takes the mark. And also Lamb there, so Robbie Edgar on the wing. Goes long with his right boot, looking for the big man again. He comes out and takes it at the third attempt. And nobody really wanted to contest against him there for the Tigers. Vilchins went up. And he's calling for the trainer. And I think he needs some tape for his boots, by the looks of it.
Oh, I've got it.
So, Our cameraman Brett Rovier here, who's doing the guest video this afternoon, has borrowed some electrical tape off the Werribee Central side and hasn't given it back. So that's probably what Brenton's looking for. And well,
surely that's ridiculous. Surely the umpire's prepared to stop the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Call time on for a player to pick up his boot.
Yes.
I mean,
he should have to kick without it.
Take it off or kick with it, mate.
Yep, that's right. So Vilchens now has picked the footy up, umpire, but he's going to call time on, so he can't wait for the tape to come. He's going to have to kick for goal. He's trying to take all the time he can to try and get it there, but umpire has called time on, so he's going to have to kick for goal. He's kicked 1-1 this afternoon. Just to put Werribee within a goal once again. He comes in from 35 and puts it straight through the middle for his second goal.
Hasn't affected his kicking.
It certainly hasn't, and he's down now on his hands and knees, getting the tape onto his boots. But it didn't matter there. 2 goals to Vilchens and Werribee Central's 4-6-30. They trail Thompson 5-6-36 by a goal on the GDFL Bingo Centre. Second quarter scoreboard, 23.5 minutes gone in this second term.
Yeah, Brenton Vilson's a fine job for them, having a bit of a spell at half forward at the minute. Matheson now having a run on the ball, and that's probably a good move from the Mickey Foster camp, coach of the Central side, as we see good work Edgar, but Barry Delaney's just a little bit out of sorts today. He fumbled that one and could have been away with it, but Terry Nankervis showed him how to do it. Breaks through centre of the ground, goes out wide to Menzies, under pressure, kicks off the carpet, good footy. Delaney all wrapped up and should be penalised. No, said the umpire. Edgar comes in, kicks it to centre half forward. Now, Buchanan, good team footy, punches it out wide, looking for the run of Darlow. He couldn't trap it, but now Buchanan back in again after it. Picks it up. Kicks it very high, wide and handsome, and he's actually kicked it out of bounds on the full, and the Thompson coach, and Alan Richardson, will get the penalty-free kick on the outer side half-back flank. Time check shows just approaching time on in the second quarter, and the Thompson Tigers, they've held the Centurions out, kicking with the breeze, Werribee in this quarter. Still leading 36 points, plays 30, 6 points the margin.
We've got a bit of an interchange there. The full forward, is it Kotchevatkin's come off the ground. Vilson's down to full forward and Bernato into the ruck, and that allows Matheson to go back to centre half forward.
Yep, and there was Bernato against Smith there, and Smith took the mark, then kicked it inboard towards Timmy Gardner and McFarlane. Gardner running with it, and then tapped on from McFarlane to Gardner, and then back to McFarlane, and then Burke off the half-back flank, but he didn't take it with him. Now tapped out towards the middle. Hart and also Ellis. Hart picks it up. Can he get around? He handballs to nobody. Hennessy's going to get there first. He picks it up, gives it to Galauka, who runs off the half-back flank, gets around one. That was Kelly, then got a high tackle, but a good kick inboard to Barry Delaney. Now Delaney goes along to Vilchens, and he goes up with Harris, and Vilchens takes a very good mark.
Very hard man to combat down that forward line. He's very strong over there.
Not a bad change from Mick Foster, actually.
Judges the ball very well.
Yeah, he's pretty mobile, too. Like, he was 20 metres out of position there. Had to run back and take a lunge at the footy. Great mark, Brenton Vilsons.
With Nathan Taylor off the ground too. You'd think Vilchens have to go up against him, but with the smaller Smith, Renato or somebody to go against him, and Vilchens down here, this is for his third goal.
Bingo.
He put it through.
Great goal, Brenton Vilsons. 3 goals for the term, and scoreboard all tied up here at the Godfrey Street Oval.
Just mentioned that 5 or 10 minutes ago, that first 15 minutes of this second quarter, when they were down on a few players, they're on the bench, they would have had to work very hard, and maybe it's taken a little bit out of them, and it's given Werribee a chance to get a bit of a run on. They're getting a little bit more run through the centre of the ground.
GDFL Bingo Centre bringing us the second quarter of football. Feldmongers Road, Breakwater. If you want an opportunity to enhance your earning capacity, give them a call out there on
8484.
8484 is the one. Thank you very much, Joseph.
I've just memorised that all season now since you've been saying it, Ron. Smith gives it to Gardner and then a Withers, so Thompson into attack from that ruck contest in the middle. But there's Cunningham again, handball over the top to Harton. If it bounces for him, he's going to be in. He is. He handball. No, he's going to kick towards half forward. Buchanan in front. Takes the mark, does he? No, the umpire says no. Well, I thought that might have been a mark there, but he obviously didn't trap it before it hit the ground, so it's going to be a ball up at half forward on the outer side. 5-6-36 apiece here at Godfrey Street. 27 minutes gone in the second term. Push off the ball there was Darlow, running across there towards Morley. Gets his left foot to it. Can't take the mark, grabs us, but he's got support. Kelly, he's wrapped up. Then he gets a handball away to Nankervis. Now he's got absolutely nobody to kick it to. So he kicks it to the wing. Galauka and Gardner. Galauka leads in the race, but Gardner comes in at pace, and then great tackle. But he's got support. Cecino for Werribee, but Gardner, Lunchy, works very hard. Gives it to his brother Tim, who tries to break the tackle. Then it's holding the ball.
think Timmy might have been waiting for the high tackle there at first, and it didn't come, and he was sort of caught in about 4 minds. The umpire was in no change mind. He gave him free straight away.
Cicino goes across centre half forward looking for Edgar and Darlow. Darlow, oh, he's going to get wrapped up now. That's dropping the ball, is it? No, it's play on. Burke gets away. Handball, good. To Kelly. Oh, dribbled it, tried to dribble it to Menzies and it didn't even go that far. It was about 10 metres away. Back in board towards Chrissy Gardner, who runs it. Oh, traps it very well, a veteran. Short to Nankervis, great play. Goes long now, Nankervis to McFarlane and a heart. McFarlane, oh, a little nudge.
Well played.
Oh, no, he didn't get away with it. He did not get away with it there, Hart. And McFarlane gave him the push with the left hand. And it's going to be a free kick to Adrian Hart on the outer side half-back flank.
Came back into the half back line for Thompson. Richardson's hard work. He worked hard to get the ball, spoilt the Werribee played. The ball spilled out to a teammate and they were able to get a forward thrust, but unfortunately it hasn't eventuated.
Well, Robbie Edgar's got possession now at centre wing. A long bomb, high flyers are required. There's been a push, and that's the benefit of being in front. As Chris Gardner just retaliates there to Brenton Wilsons. I didn't see what happened there behind the play. Nothing serious as the Raider gives it back to Christian Smith.
Pretty gutsy move,
Was
that?
They
go back.
The tall and the short of it. But Terry Nankervis, who's been busy this term, back to Smith. The run of Ambrose Kelly was okay.
Just out of sorts today, Menzies. He just hasn't been able to get his hands around the ball on enough occasion to be a real threat at this period of time, and he is a goal kicker, so Thompson will be relying that he can come out after a long break, probably with a little bit more confidence and get a few more touches.
Well, now the ball brought back into the centre of the ground, which was dangerous footy because there's Delaney there for the Centras who traps it well, got it to Hennessy, who's got time to steady to Wilsons. The big fella comes out, crushes into, I think that's Stein, who's in a bit of strife too. That hurt.
It was Matheson, actually.
Matheson it was. And the twins, though, I'd call them.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Very similar to look at in stance.
And Stein's taking a very long time to get up to at half-back. The kick in by Mark Harris short to Kelly and then to Gardner. And it's not going to matter. Well, Werribee, with 4 goals in that second term, have been able to take the lead from Thompson. They're 5-7-37. In that quarter, they kicked 4 goals, 4. And Thompson kicked 1 goal, 2 to be 5-6-36. So it's a point the difference at half-time. The goal kickers for Werribee Centrals, 3 to Brenton Vilchins, all in that second term, 1 to Timmy Ellis in that term, and Luke Luddick also 1. While for Thompson, they've kicked 3 goals, Shane Withers, and singles to Alan Richardson and Mark Cowan.
Interesting finish of that quarter there. I believe the ball was actually kicked, the siren went, the umpires put his hand up for the finish of the quarter, and the ball actually went out on the full. I believe that the Werribee player should have been allowed to have a kick from the boundary line there, but it was overlooked, and as half-time results stand.
So a point the difference at half-time. Now, quickly, boys, before we go to a break, some of the better players in the second quarter and for the first half overall. Stewie?
I thought that Wilsons is obviously in that quarter has got right into the game, and he's going to be a problem for Thompson to try and combat. But Cunningham for both quarters has probably been the standout player at the moment for Werribee. But Darlow just started to get a little few important touches there in the middle of the ground. Morley always going to get good value off from the half-back flank. I thought Galauka had a couple of
good player, isn't he?
Did some good runs. He keeps his eye on the ball. If there's a pack there to get through, he gets through it. He doesn't lose sight of the ball. He then butters up, grabs the ball, and then uses it generally well down the ground. For Thompson, McFarlane just started to sort of get into it a little bit. They obviously need a little bit more from him. Kelly, playing that loose man in defence, played it very well early when they were a couple of players down. Atchison, well, again, for the 2 quarters so far, that Atchison's been working well, and I thought Nankervis just got a couple of important touches there early on in that quarter that kept him in the contest there when they only had 16 men.
Anybody else from you, Ron?
No, it's pretty well covered. I'll give the coach a mention for the Thompson side, Alan Richardson. I thought his contribution quite valuable at half-back. Kicked a very nice goal into the breeze and, led by example in that quarter.
So at half-time, it's Werribee Central's 5-7-37. They lead Thompson 5-6-36 in the first semi-final showdown here this afternoon at Godfrey Street. We'll go back to the studio for a bit of a musical interlude, give us a little bit of a break to wet the whistle, and we'll be back with all the action of the second half of the GDFL Finals 1996 on this Saturday afternoon, live and exclusive on 89.1 Country FM.